Yes, welcome back. Off the Bench TV is back for 2016, proudly brought to you by Victoria's Greyhounds, celebrating 20 years of the Greyhound Adoption Program. Now, we've got a brand new set, we've got a couple of new, well, sort of new faces, and we've got a very big guest coming up on the show. But before we do that, though, a big thank you to Bruce Povey and David Trend, who do an amazing job covering country footy around this great state of ours. They have contributed to some of the set design, so to David and Trent, thanks to you. Also want to send a cheerio to the King of Dimboola, Timmy Watson, who has finally retired and vacated the seat to my right. And Hannah Driscoll, what an unbelievable contribution she made last year. She's gone on to bigger and better things. So, without any further ado, we've scoured the playing field far and wide, and I wanted somebody with the right credentials, somebody that could play, a bit of a wet tracker, because I was quick and fast. And who better to bring back than, according to him, his stall's greatest sporting gift? He was the 95 Brownlow medalist favourite, and he got 0 votes. Welcome back, Lenny Pickering.
Well, Swat.
Great to have you on board. Great to have you back. It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back, and I'll say that nicely because at the end of the day, I've let you have a little bit of me time for the last few years, but now I'm back.
Yep.
So I'll get back to really, I'll probably take it to another level.
All right, if you could.
I don't like the way you were introduced, by the way. You come up under your little ticker there as Sydney and North Melbourne champion. I've got 1995 Brownlow medal favourite. I never got a vote. That's just garbage.
Yeah, and I got 134 in my career. One man that used to put the fear in God in me, Pickers, and I'm sure he probably made you... No?
Well, I dodged him.
Right.
Dodged him.
Well, it's great to have a revered figure in footy. He did some amazing things with the Magpies in his playing day. He was a member of the 1990 premiership side, and he's done some amazing things in country footy, and he's also helping out the Hawks. Speak of Damian Monkhorst. Welcome, Monkey.
Thanks, Schwass.
Great to have you on board.
It's great to be here.
I wasn't scared of you, mate, because I was nowhere near you. When he went
you played in the middle, didn't you?
I played in the middle, but I just ran away from it.
We never really crossed paths, did we? But I owe you one, Schwatter.
Hey?
I owe you one.
You owe me one?
Yeah, I do.
What do you mean?
First game for St Kilda, I've just been recruited there. First centre bounce. We're playing you guys. I levitated up in the docklands here.
Yeah.
Nearly hit my hand on the rafters.
Yeah, whatever.
Tapped the ball down. You got it, sitting off the back of the pack. I went in to lay the tackle on you and you kicked the ball and I went to smother it and you kicked me right in the face.
Oh, it was an accident. It was an accident, Monkey.
Split me whole...
I'll apologise now, hopefully we're square. Hey, let's go back to 1990. What are your recollections? It was a great year.
Good year. We had a lot of young kids come through. Brownie, myself, Gab Krasiska and Mickey McGuan sort of came through the under-19s and won the premiership in 86. So there was a nucleus of young kids coming through. Meeting up with Shorey and Dakes and Banksy, the champions of the club at the time. It was a fantastic year.
You missed out on the brawl, though, Monkey. It was a massive brawl at half time. We know that. And unfortunately for you, I think you would have liked to have been a part of it, but you're on the bench when all this happened.
Yeah, I was on the bench. I started at full forward, and Jimmy Manson started in the ruck, and then the brawl started. I was on the bench and I was just standing there looking at it, and Lee said, "Get over there." So I trundled over, but I got caught up in the middle of the ground. They were fighting too hard over there. So.
Yeah, that's actually a very smart move.
I was with the officials.
I mean, in that situation, the adrenaline's pumping, obviously. Yeah. Did you really feel like you wanted to be part of it, or you were just thinking about probably getting back out after quarter time and getting involved?
I wanted to be a part of it. Don't worry about that. But no, the Lee actually controlled that whole situation fantastically, but just by pulling everyone in and just saying, "Listen, let's go to the ball now," because we know Essendon are going to come at you. And he controlled it unbelievably at quarter time, which got us back on the track.
Probably had some experience. He was involved in a famous blue with the Bombers as well. Let's have a look at your career. 215 games. It's a pretty good career picks when you have a look at that.
Oh, very good career. A premiership player, a really important player for Collingwood back in the day. And then not only content with playing 200 games for Collingwood and St Kilda, of course, but also you played over 200 for Woori Yallock as well.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
What age did you actually finish? Because you retired, obviously, in 2011. What age did you actually finish playing AFL footy, and then, obviously, you kept going at Woori Yallock?
I think I finished about 31, 32 when I was at AFL, and then went to Woori Yallock and finished at 42. So, yeah, it was great just to play with the local guys. Some of those guys I played with, I held as babies on the way through, and it was just really good for the soul to go back and help them out.
And you had your family involved. Were you playing with your boy? One of your boys, I think.
I retired in 2009 and then came back in 2010 because my lad was coming through the under-18s. And we played a premiership together in 2010. And I'll never forget the first game. I went up for a mark at full forward, come down front and square. No one was there, so I picked the ball up, and then he come flying past, calling out, "Dad, Dad, Dad, Dad."
Hey, I hope I've got this right, but did some imbecile or silly person from Monkhorst Football Club decide to give you an earful and you retaliated to return the favour by doing something to that supporter's son? Is that right?
I think everyone knows who's played country football. You do end up having a close relationship with the spectators. And this one day against Monkhorst was a wet day at Woori Yallock, and this bloke was giving it to me all day. And later on I learnt that it was the opposition's ruckman that was playing against me, and I didn't go 100 mile an hour playing in the country footy. Anyway, the dad was giving me a hard time through the whole day. And anyway, after the game we won, he's followed our group as we're walking off the ground and still giving it to me. I thought, stuff this. Anyway, I snuck off out the side of the pack and got in behind him and grabbed a whole big wad of mud.
Oh, no.
And he was a balding fella. And I just went bang and sat it on top of his head. And his shoulders dropped.
Well, there's not much he's going to do about it. Let's be honest. You're a big man. You're a big
The
man,
irony of
Monkey.
Monkey sneaking out the back.
He's snuck out the back, beautifully done. Hey, you've got the Hawthorn kit on. You roll now at Hawthorn. I know Collingwood have made a play to make you their ruck coach, but you've been at Hawthorn a number of years now and it's going well.
Yeah, 2010 I went there. Really, really good, welcoming group of guys. Humble group of guys that can really play footy. And the environment's fantastic. And yeah, we've had a good run during my time there. Yeah, it's been great.
Got a big game against the Demons, who are up and down at the moment, so we wish you well on the weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
And congratulations on your AFL career, but also congratulations, importantly, on giving something back to local grassroots footy. It's been fantastic. So, Monkey, you're not going to go home empty-handed because you and the missus are going to have a night for two at the Parkview Hotel, which is St Kilda Road in Melbourne. And on top of that, you love your fashion. We're going to kit you out with $100 worth of St Goliath clothing. Now, cop this, Monkey. It combines street trends with easy wear styles. St Goliath, you'll shop in Myers and Edge clothing stores nationally. That's where you're going to get it. You can take the missus out for a night and get yourself some new clobber. Thanks for coming in.
No worries. Thanks for that, guys.
All right, when we come back, Country Footy's First Lady is going to join Stall's greatest sporting gift and myself. Off the Bench TV, up with more next. Welcome back to Off the Bench TV, proudly brought to you by Victoria's Greyhounds, celebrating 20 years of the Greyhound Adoption Program. Time now for Around the State. Yes, we welcome the one and the only Country Footy's First Lady. She is back and it's great to have her back for 2016. Ros Lanigan, I missed you. Welcome back.
Hello, boys. Good to see you both. It's very exciting to be back. Dream team. It's the A-team.
It's the dream team. You're right, Rosie.
The originals, you and I picks from
well,
back in the day.
It's good to have you back, obviously.
Just to those new viewers who have seen me a lot over the last few years and may not know who these two clowns are, let's go back to the archives and let's see what Lachlan, our producer, has dug up.
Oh, no.
Before we get into the serious footy matters, we like to have a bit of fun. We haven't seen you for a while. You've locked into a new bloke. Locked in. You've locked into a new bloke.
All right, yeah, okay, yeah.
You were battling a bit last year.
Well, no. She's getting pretty swinging hands.
Yeah, she was battling a bit.
Stones.
This time last year, battling.
Battling a little bit on the country circuit. Yeah, but she's gone city. Now, she's hooked up with a bloke. Now, her job, what's your job? Day-to-day job.
Oh, right, footy for the weekly time?
Right, footy for the weekly time. I said, tell us about your new bloke. Does he like footy? Hates it.
Can I just say, the meek and mild Ros Lanigan has been replaced by someone that knows her stuff and bites your head off if you get it wrong. You're a co-host, and we've just seen why you're not the host, and thank God Spud's not on the show anymore.
Well, Spud's a bumbling fool at times, we know that, but the reality is that lack of hair is a massive concern. Only 4 years, that's got to have been 10 years ago.
Okay, let's try and straighten it up. It is good to have you back, Rosie. Let's have a look at the north of the state and what's happening up there.
Yeah, plenty happening. We're halfway into the season in a lot of leagues. This is the Ovens and Murray Football League. On the weekend, Albury defeated Yarra by 71 points. They've been combatants in 6 of the past 7 grand finals in the O&M, but the Tigers got the job done easily in round 9. This was the 1 versus 2 match. Albury remains undefeated at the top of the table picks.
Well, what's the... no Fev obviously at Yarra this year, but they don't look like they're going to be beaten.
No, Albury won't. It's Albury by how far, unfortunately, in the O&M this year, and no one likes to see that, but they are that much better than anyone else. Josh Mallington has booted, I think he's up to 64 for the season now, so he's booted quite a few. This is the ladder here. Yarrawonga still sitting second after a 71-point loss, which sort of gives you an indication of how far Albury are ahead. Corry-Rup really struggling at the bottom of the table without a win so far.
Look at the points for and against, Swatter.
Yep.
That's what you call a domination.
Yeah, it makes it hard.
They've won their games by an average of 17.5 goals or something like that, 14.5 goals this season, so they're doing it very easily. In the Golden Rivers Footy League, the dual reigning Premier Ultima remains on top and a game clear after 7 rounds. They're coming off a big win over Moolameen last week and will meet 5th place Macorna in round 8. Now, Macorna actually knocked off Ultima in round 1. That was their only loss for the season. That was a bit of a shock, so the Roos will be very keen to reverse that result tomorrow. Ultima's opponent in last year's grand final was Quambatook, who are sitting 7th with just the one win. No, they're not. And Murrabet and Wandella have been the big improvers so far this season. They both finished outside the finals last year, but they're up and about this year.
What about the Ovens and King?
Footy League, yes. This was Glenrowan defeating Woori on the weekend, 45-point winners to the reigning premiers there in Glenrowan on their home turf in round 8. The Lions were within a couple of goals at half-time, but Glenrowan ran riot in the third quarter and slammed on 5 goals to none. Now, they've been a bit flat coming out after half-time in the few games prior to this, Pickers, but something their coach Trevor Edwards said at half-time on the weekend certainly sparked them, and they got the job done very easily. Have a look at the ladder here. Tarrawinji are still undefeated at the top of the table. Glenrowan, as I said, the reigning premiers, are 6-2. North Wangaratta at the bottom of the ladder, winless. But it's a big ladder and it's a long season, so there was plenty still to come in that footy league.
Yeah, the ladder doesn't read well for North Wangaratta, but there's another story that doesn't read well concerning that footy club as well, Ros.
There's nothing going very well at North Wangaratta at the moment. They are actually home groundless, if we can say that. They're without a home ground at the moment because they're of suspected lead contamination.
Oh, no.
Have a look. Yeah, it's not flash.
Oh,
basically, North Wangaratta's home ground is next to the gun club, the local gun club.
Oh, no.
We shouldn't laugh, but seriously.
It's true. And look, it's not a good story. And they've had lead detected in soil samples last month at the eastern boundary of that footy oval. The Wangaratta Council and the EPA are both involved and they moved to shut that ground straight away. So what's happening is the Hawks The Hawks have had to switch their training to Wednesday nights, and they're playing. They're training on the Wangaratta Rovers Oval in town, and their home games are being switched to away games or played on any other ground that happens to be available that weekend. Now, I spoke to AFL North East Border General Manager John O'Donoghue earlier in the week, and he said the news had been obviously pretty hard to take for North Wangaratta, and they'd been kicked off through no fault of their own. So it is hard, and it affects gate takings, it affects volunteers, it affects everything. So it's going to be a really tough season for North Wangaratta, and there is no timeline on when they'll be back on that footy ground. In fact, the junior cricket team that was due to play there this coming summer has already been told to find alternative arrangements. So it's obviously going to be something that troubles them for quite some time.
Yeah, it's a bit of a worrying story. Swatter,
Keep it
in the words of Daryl Kerrigan, what do you know about lead?
Oh, seriously, gun clubs, footy clubs don't do it. Let's players going back into country clubs, especially Josh Fraser.
Yes, well, we had Monkey on earlier in the show. Another ex-Collingwood player in Josh Fraser. He made his debut for Tadioon in the Minnanira and District Footy League on the weekend. He booted 7 goals in that debut game. He's now obviously a development coach at Carlton and coaches the club's VFL side, the Northern Blues. Now, he's ended up at Tadioon through a relationship with between the Northern Blues conditioning coach Matthew Powell, who used to play footy with the Tadioon coach Adrian Powell more than a decade ago. The Hawks are hopeful that Josh will play maybe 6 or 7 games throughout the season. He's 34-year-old now, but he'll still be a standout in the Minnanira League, and that's sort of down your end of town.
It is. It was in our cricket league back in the day. But
made 150 at that grand, didn't you?
Oh, let's not go there.
Well, you put it on my notes, so I just did. Hey, Ros,
notes,
fantastic, comprehensive, and welcome back to the program. Really looking forward to your contribution throughout the year.
Thanks, guys.
There you go, Ros Lanigan, the country footy's first lady, doing a fantastic job. Look forward to seeing her again next week as we head to the break. Off the Bench TV in 2016 is proudly brought to you by Victoria's Greyhounds, celebrating 20 years of the Greyhound adoption program. More coming up next. Welcome back to Off the Bench TV, proudly brought to you by Victoria's Greyhounds, celebrating 20 years of the Greyhound Adoption Program. Hey, Pickers, if I asked you where Corry-Rup was, would you know where that is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's in West Gippsland.
Very good.
Because my uncle used to work in the ANZ Bank down there many years
Really?
ago. Yeah.
There we go.
So I used to go down there for holidays.
Did you also know they haven't won a premiership since 1981?
No, I did not know that.
They have been over the years a laughing stock of the competition. Well, enough is enough for that football club. They went out and got themselves a new coach. They've developed a new culture. And what about this? Undefeated start to their season. Let's have a look at how they've managed to do that. This story filed by our great producer, Lachlan McKinnon.
Since I was a kid, Oz kick days or Vic kick days back in them days, just loved football. Played here all my life, had great mates play here as well, so yeah, never left the club.
I always class Corry-Rup as the best little country town in suburban Melbourne. So we're so close to Melbourne, and yet we are a good village. I came to Corry-Rup in 1974 and I came here, we bought the local milk bar, and I was invited along to a local committee meeting. I thought that was very nice of them to invite me along, and I ended up on the committee of the football club, and I've been on since then.
I've got a lot of great people around the club as well that really help out, and that's made my job a lot easier too since I have been president. We've got a really good supporter base. We've got a really good crowd.
We had success in 1979, which come out of the blue really. We were struggling prior to that. We were runners-up in 1980, and then we got the flag again in 1981. So they were what you call the glory years.
Late 1990s, we left West Gippsland football. We copped some real hidings there towards the end of that era before we moved into Ellenbank football. Who knows what would have happened if we hadn't made that switch from West Gippy back then as well.
The great thing about Corry-Rup now is we've got 6 junior sides playing in the South East Suburban League. Last week we had 5 junior players, 4 17-year-olds, a 16-year-old. 3 of them are playing there today, and the other 2 are playing for the TAC Gippsland Power side down in Gippsland. The coach we have now, Ben Collins, his 2 brothers, and a couple of his mates have come along, joined in with those local players and developed what we think is a very good side.
I love that whole club footy sort of atmosphere. I've been lucky enough to play in 5 senior flags, so don't know whether it's been in the right time, right place, right time, but yeah, no, it's been a pretty good career. I've enjoyed every bit of it. As far as game plan goes now, I'm really hell-bent on discipline and defensive pressure, and that's what I've been really pushing in the group. I'm a firm believer that you start from your defence and your offence takes care of itself. So yeah, that's sort of where we're at the moment, and the boys have really embraced it and taken it on.
When I was playing that long ago, you warm up, wasn't much to it. You'd get changed, jump in a huddle, do a couple of 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10 or whatever it is. Go out the back, have a bit of a kick, AFL level, and then every other league down just keeps taking that little bit more out of it. Overall, at the end of the day, you still got to kick it through the big sticks and get the ultimate result.
So we're playing Bunyip. They've been one of the yardsticks over the last couple of years, or over a long period of time, and they got beaten by Corry in the grand final last year, and they've gone out and recruited pretty heavily. Us and them are the only ones that are undefeated, and we're here to beat them and give ourselves every opportunity to finish top 2.
My number plate's a Cooey. That's how passionate I am about the town.
Everyone's been fantastic, embraced everything that we've tried to bring, and probably our main goal is to win a premiership. Everyone's goal is that, but my biggest goal is to change the perception of this footy club, and people buying in and not being selfish and just doing the little things for the team, and it's not all about someone kicking 10 goals or someone getting 40 touches. It's about laying a block or laying a big tackle, and I think that's what this group's done really well. They've embraced it and listened to it and taken it on.
It's a very even year from what I can see and what we've heard. There'll be then 4 or 5 sides that are right thereabouts. It might take 2 years, might take 3 years, whatever it is, but that's what we're doing to do.
Yeah, well done to Corry-Rup Footy Club, doing some good stuff, Picks.
They are, and well done to Ben Collins. He obviously brought in some mates, but also his brothers, and I think they've got behind it. It sounds like a really good community club, and we wish them all the best.
I reckon it's a good thing the old Prez getting in a group, the huddle, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out, we go and play. We've probably sharpened that up a little bit, haven't we?
A little bit since those days, but good on them, and it's good to see them doing well.
Well said. Well done to Ben, and good luck to that footy club for the rest of the year, 1981. It's been a long time waiting. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the odds, William Hill odds for the weekend. If you'd like to get involved, you can do that via social media, Facebook and Twitter. They're the addresses. Pickers and myself will come back and wrap the show up when we come back. It's our favourite part of the show, the Celebrate at the Country Races wheel, with lots of goodies to be won each and every week. And the major prize, a $2,500 marquee package at the Kilmore Cup later this year, and that'll be drawn on our Grand Final Eve show. But we need contestants in order to spin the wheel each and every week, so get your entry in, and all the information about celebrating at the Country Races at countryRacing.com.au. It's as simple as that, Pix.
Well, get involved.
Yep.
I mean, you've got yourself an opportunity really to get involved in some great prizes, and we know they're great partners of the program. So, I'll be getting online real quick.
Countryracing.com.au. OK, time now for all the odds, brought to you by William Hill Online Racing and Sports Betting. William Hill, faster, easier betting. Righto, Pix.
Let's go through them, Swatter.
First one we're going to have a look at.
Yeah, Hawthorn nice and short, $1.24. Melbourne at the line, I give half a chance to. I think Melbourne will be competitive. They're a bit up and down, Melbourne.
Disappointing last week, the D's in
They
Alice.
were, but they do tend to bounce back. Well, a long time since we've seen this, isn't it? $1.26 Carlton.
5 of their last 6, they've won the Blues.
Well, they're playing really good footy, so yeah, you'd think they'd get the job done against Brisbane.
Big one coming up now.
Well, it's that. Those odds are wrong, in my view. I mean, when I say they're wrong,
Too short,
I think
Geelong?
way too short Geelong at this stage. I mean, I expect money for the Giants, who are a very good team.
And the final one we'll have a look at.
Well, they don't travel well, do they, West Coast? They travel like prawns. But Western Bulldogs are a good team. The game in Melbourne, I think they'll probably get the job
Let's
done.
have a look at the current premiership market.
Yeah, well, Sydney, as you'd expect, to be favourites. They're a very good team. The Cats still second favourites. I mean, whilst I hope they do really well, the reality is Hawthorn at $6 still look pretty juicy to me.
How can a team who's lost one game in the first 10 be $11 favourites for the flag?
I
Picks?
think-
You're one of your old clubs and mine.
And yours.
Yes.
I think it's purely on the back of who they'd played. Now, they lost their first big test last Friday night. They've got some tough ones coming up. If they can come out of this, I think it's a 5-game block, 3-2. Then they'll be back up the market, I would have thought as well.
All right, well, I think they're being undersold. Hey, good to have you back.
Good to
Great
be
have
back,
you
Wayne.
Yeah,
Good to
and
be back.
looking forward to Ros joining us every week. So the show is just about done. Good luck to all of the footy teams and netball teams playing right around this great state. Stay safe on the roads. Have a great weekend. Pickers, Ros and myself will be back with Off the Bench TV, same time next Friday. See you then.